the video that I think I've talked about a couple times that might come up. This week's video, I'm talking about how I got rid of the GC. It just wasn't the car for me. I mainly got that car to remind me of my old one. I know the old one was never on the channel. It was on my Instagram, which, by the way, if you aren't following my Instagram, it's Lowry's Customs. It was a 2002 5RS, just like the one I just had. It was Sedona red. It was a really nice car, STI body, Tessuto exhaust, manual transmission. It was a really nice car. I really liked that car. This GC that I had just wasn't cutting it. It was loud because it had no exhaust. The body wasn't in the best shape. It just didn't look the part. It needed some work. It was an automatic that the torque converter was just like locking and didn't want to fully engage in the gears. Just wasn't the car for me. So I got rid of it. I actually ended up trading it for a car, and I'll give you guys a hint of what it is. The hint I'll give to you guys is it's Swedish. I've never owned a Swedish car. Wasn't sure what I was expecting to get myself into. One of my buddies is very familiar with this particular type of Swedish car. It needs a little bit of work. I do have plans for it, and we're gonna see what happens with it. I'm excited for it. The GC, I enjoyed it while I had it. It just no longer fit the part. When I got the GC, my plans for it were to clean it up and basically make it a project car for the channel. Well, then I started having big issues with the Outback, and the GC became a daily, and that car wasn't in its right stage to be a daily. It wasn't getting good gas mileage. It was too loud, as in like it had no exhaust, so just driving down the highway or cruising around town comfortably wasn't happening. It was so loud. You're not driving that thing comfortably. Everyone's always looking at you because everyone can hear you. So it wasn't a good daily. I was working at ECS Tuning at the time, which was a 45-minute drive, and I was getting like 7 miles to the gallon, and which means I had to put like $20 a day into that thing for gas. It wasn't a good daily. Like I said, I got that car to be a project car and was gonna daily the Outback. And I still don't even have the Outback. It's non-stop issues with that car, and I cannot get that car to run the way it should. It sucks. I would really like to just have that car back and be able to drive it. It's been in the shop since August. First it was head gaskets. They weren't bad. They were leaking, but they weren't bad enough to where they were blown and whatnot. They were just leaking. So then I did the timing with it. Then I still had low oil pressure issues, and then it came down to it had a bad battery and alternator, so I put a new battery and alternator in it. Then it was bad oil pressure switches, and it was just thing after thing after thing, and I just could not get it to run right. Now we're down to a ground issue, which is causing it to misfire, and hopefully that can be fixed soon, but that's still an ongoing project, which car was never meant to be a project. It was supposed to be a daily, the drive around and whatnot. It was never meant to be a project car. But yes, I got rid of the GC. Before I had gotten rid of it though, I never made a video on this because I did it really cheap. I had gone to Lowe's and I picked up some Rust-Oleum white spray paint, and I spray painted the car white. Everyone kept asking me why I went with white. The factory color on that car was aspen white. The front end of the car was the factory color. I didn't want to change the front end color because I liked the aspen white. So, I spray painted over the license plates, the blue. I didn't do any prep work, I just went over it. It was not meant to be a permanent thing. It was more of, let's make the car look better and less of an eyesore driving down the road, because it's not gold, blue, silver, white. It was white. The only thing I didn't do was the roof, because I still had plans of having the roof wrapped in carbon fiber, because I knew that would contrast very well. I never ended up doing that when I got rid of the car, so I sold it with a white body, white everything, with a blue roof. I'll post up, or I'll upload a picture in right now to show you what it looked like, and it looked like this. So yeah, that's what the car looked like. In my opinion, the car looked really good after that. It was less of an eyesore, like I said, and it was just more appealing to look at. The only things that were still the downside was it had the stock 2.5 RS sedan low-rise wing. It might have been a little better if maybe it had the coupe wing, which is not necessarily the high-rise like an STI, but it's a little bit higher. It might have looked a little bit better, but I didn't want to spend money on the coupe wing when ideally the wing I wanted was like an STI replica wing, and because I knew that's what would look good. That's what I had on my old one. I loved it. It just made all the body lines come together and look really good. So that's what I ideally wanted. Never ended up doing that. I also wanted to do the pseudo exhaust. Never ended up doing that. It all came down to money. Like I said, the car wasn't good on gas, and I had to daily drive it, which means I had to put a lot of money into gas in that thing, which took away from my funds of, instead of putting $20 into gas all the time, I could have saved some of that money and bought the STI wing or bought the pseudo full exhaust system, and I wasn't able to do that. The only things like aftermarket I was able to do was the last video you guys saw, was I put in the carbon fiber dash bezel piece. I got a good deal on that, and it cleaned up the interior a little more and just fit the part. Got rid of that old crappy one that was all damaged and really ugly looking, so got rid of that, put that nice carbon fiber one in. I know some people are going to be like, oh, that's cheesy looking, and I didn't go for style points. I went to, one, make it look better and get rid of that really destroyed one, and as well as just clean it up a little bit, which in my opinion is what happened. In my opinion, it did clean up and just look so much better afterwards. So that's that. I'll leave this video off here. Like I said, go follow my Instagram. It's Lowry's Customs. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Um, comment what you guys think this new car is. Like I said, your hint is it's Swedish. So, there you go. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a good day. I'll see you next time.